Getting your LinkedIn profile right is probably one of the most overlooked yet most important components to a solid lead generation strategy with LinkedIn. Hey, how's it going? Ryan Caswell from b2bleads.com, business to business lead generation, marketing and sales strategies. And today I really want to talk about your LinkedIn profile and why it's so important and how to actually get it to a point where it's going to help you generate leads. Now, of course, the LinkedIn profile on its own probably isn't going to do much for you. You need to couple it in with actually some sort of outbound strategy or inbound strategy where you actually have a way to drive traffic to your profile. But today I want to dive into how to get your profile right. And so the first thing I want to talk about is the number one thing, the number one purpose that your profile really needs to achieve is trust. It needs to build trust. And there's a number of ways you can do that. But the reason it needs to build trust is as you reach out to people or as that people come to your profile to see it, they're going to look at your profile and they're going to make a decision more or less there and then whether they want to continue to engage with you or not. And your profile needs to build trust around the idea that you can solve their problem. And there's a few ways you can build trust with your profile. I like to say there's three key areas that you need to focus on to build trust. Now, I like to think of your profile, your LinkedIn profile, kind of like a health bar or a gauge from a computer game, and you got to get it to the top. We've got to build enough trust to get it there, to get someone to the point that they're actually willing to talk to you further. So there's three things you can use to get that up. So the first one I want to talk about is credibility. So credibility is super important, and it's building this idea that you have solved this problem before and you're quite likely to solve this problem again. So for instance, if you've worked with big companies, big brands that people already trust and they can see that you've worked with them and they trust you, then that's going to help to build that credibility. If you can share case studies of work that you've done before, and even just being in business for a long time and having a big headcount and profit margins, all that sort of stuff, anything that cements this idea of credibility is going to help you build up that trust meter. The next thing I wanted to talk about was I'll say nicheability because it sounds good, but niching or expertise or focusing on something specific. So the more specific you are focused on with your profile, the more specific an area that your business actually works on. So niching specifically in on a specific business problem helps people to, build trust around this idea that, okay, this is the one thing that they do. This is the one thing that they deal with. They're likely very good at it. And so purely by niching down on something, and you hear a lot of marketers and business professionals talk about niching and why that's so important, because it really helps you build that trust. And then from an actual serving your client point of view, it means you can deliver your outcomes easier, faster, more profitably, because you're always dealing with the same problem as well. But from a lead gen point of view and building trust, it does help purely because people see that and they say, oh, okay, well, he must be good at it, or she must be good at it because that's all they specialize in, or that's all they do. And the third way to build trust on your profile is purely by likability. So getting people to like you by promoting yourself, putting your content out there, helping people. I'll talk about a lot of content marketing here, putting out videos so people can actually really connect to you. So the power of video is that people can connect with you in all the ways that you communicate. And it really builds trust because there's a lot less to hide behind, like there is with text and photos. It's really, you're putting yourself out there, and all the different ways that you communicate, all the subtleties that we actually take in are there on video. The way you talk with your hands, your tone of voice, things like that. That's why webinars are still really powerful, because you can actually see someone in their element live. So likability is that third one. Now, you don't need to have all three of these. Everyone's got a different business and going to be in different points, but you really want to build that trust up enough with at least one of them. All three is obviously better, and the better you have all of them, like getting past that amount of trust you need, the more likely you are to get someone to convert. So think about these things. So what I'll do is I'll share a quick example now, and I'll share a great guide with you as well that I've got on the website that really shows you how to break it down step by step and work through creating your LinkedIn profile. But let's jump in and have a quick look now at an example of what I'm talking about. All right, so as I mentioned, I'll include a link for this resource down below, and I'll quickly work through it with you as well, just to give you an idea of how to structure your profile. Now, it's really important that you don't get too stuck on this. Too many people, especially when it's their own business, get too lost in the details rather than just focusing on that core, simple thing that your customers care about, which is the outcome, the results, and then just building trust around this idea, not focusing on things like your qualifications and all this kind of stuff that it seems important, but all your customers really care about is outcome, value, can you provide it, build trust around this idea. So there's some foundational things you'll need to go over as well in terms of marketing and what you need to communicate. And then I go into a bit of a structure, how to structure your profile, how important your headline is, your profile background image, how to get a great profile picture, background image here, like I just said, and then how to structure out the titles and what to cover in each of the sections. And the good thing about doing it in titles like this, you don't have to, but it's just a really succinct way to cover the things that your prospects want to know first, want to know fast. And so it's a really great way to break it out so they can find the information they need quickly, because if there's one thing people don't have these days, it's patience or much attention. So you really got to make it easy for your prospects to find the information fast. So you can get that from, I'll put the link down below, and we'll just look at a bit of an example here. So Anthony's got a great example of a good profile, and it builds a lot of trust. One of the first things you notice when you land on Anthony's page is that you can see a lot of the clients that he's worked with and instantly like super recognizable brands. So it builds this reputation by association, credibility by association. So it's a really powerful strategy. If you had a picture of you talking, doing a keynote speak in a big audience, that's another great way to build credibility. A nice, likable, friendly, open, professional profile picture here too. Proud dad, devoted husband, once again, building up that trust, that likability factor. It's going to resonate with the right people, which is what you really care about. So credibility, likability, and he's chosen to niche down on something specifically. So white label for agencies. So he's hitting all those markers really well, and it's a good example. And there should be some other examples in the document here in the profile guide, and you're going to get a ton of value from that. The main thing I wanted to go over today was really just those 3 key points that you need to think about, because I can give you the structure and I can tell you exactly how to put it together, but in the end, like, it doesn't matter how you write it or what you talk about. The main thing is you need to hit these key things, because that's what your clients want to know is, can I trust this person to solve my problem? Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button if you got any value out of this video. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed. There should be another video on the right here. Hope to see you soon.